Today's podcast is brought to you by StrongHeartAcademy.com, where no heart is no victory. We are also brought to you by BJJ to go. If you want to build your game and learn Jiu-Jitsu, go to bjjtogo.com. Hi, I'm Professor Mike Martin. I'm a third-degree black belt under Kyle Terra. I own and operate and teach classes at Strong Heart Academy in Phoenix, Arizona. Today I want to talk about what I look for in a student. So when someone comes to me, it's kind of a two-way street. So the person coming to the academy needs to go, is this academy someplace that's going to fit my needs? So you might list your needs of the things that you're looking for to achieve. It could be weight loss, it could be friendships, it could be self-defense, and you have to ask yourself, is this academy going to fit my needs? Is it going to, can I get what I'm trying to look for out of this place? Now, on the counterpart of that, what am I looking for in a student? And I have a few criteria on that, because I don't just let anyone train with me. I really don't. We do cast a wide net of different types of people, but there's core things that we look for at Strong Heart, and I would say other, hopefully, Jiu-Jitsu academies would do the same. One of the first things is that you want to get something out of it. So you are motivated to improve yourself and improve your life. Are you someone that wants to use Jiu-Jitsu as a vehicle to improve your life? And, that's something that I personally can relate to. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu changed my life for the better. I used it on purposely as a vehicle. Now, at the time, I didn't know it was Jiu-Jitsu. It said submission wrestling. This is 23 years ago, and I wrestled, and I thought, when I was a wrestler, I had good grades, I was in shape, I had a girlfriend, and then I got out of high school and I just wasn't focused, and I didn't have something to strive for. And I knew that how much it helped me to stay focused and have those goal set kind of mentality. And it did. It changed my life completely. It got me in shape, and I got a girlfriend, then I got married and all those type of things. And it really, really, really changed my life. And even mentally, I knew that I just felt mentally better, and I didn't have depression anymore. I don't really have much of anxiety, but I didn't have nervousness, and I just felt more confident, and it transformed my life. So I like to be a part of the process of transforming someone's life. And I have a student that's leaving me right now. We just did a podcast not that long ago with Chris Marshall, and he's going to move to Tennessee for a year to be with his father that he just recently discovered, and his son also lives there too. And just the change I saw in that guy is incredible, with losing weight, and he quit drinking and really just got his life together. Even his job got better, and he started working on his personal relationships, and that's how he discovered his father, and he discovered his son. And it was just a really great, story, and I want to be a part of those stories. And so if I have a student or a would-be student comes in, and they're listed out their goals is like, hey, I really, I'm trying to change myself. And sometimes people, you start with one thing, it's just like lose weight, and then you realize that there's other things, like your goals shift and change, but Jiu-Jitsu is still there to help facilitate that. Now, it's not like a magic pill, and everyone wants a magic pill and goes, oh, if you do Jiu-Jitsu, your life will just automatically change. No, you have to do the work. You have to show up, and you got to do the work. But I'm looking for those type of people that really earnestly are willing to start the change in their life. Like, hey, it's time to change. It's time to get out. It could be pandemic situation where they were being very cautious, and they're staying home and very isolated, and it's like, okay, it's time to get out. It's time to be social interaction with people again. And it's important because we are group animals. Humans are pack animals. If you don't like to think of us as animals, regardless, we are not good at being loners. Loners don't do well. So you need to find your group, your tribe, your thing to be a part of. And if it's time, to get back, then that's a great thing. We would love to be a part of that process for you. And, we try not to create niches or anything like that. I try to open the door. Like, people know when you come in, I'll have other students, without asking, they'll come up and introduce themselves, just to make you feel comfortable, because it could be intimidating. Anytime you're going to a new place, you don't know the people, you don't know the procedures, you don't know how the atmosphere, the vibe's going to be. It could be kind of intimidating and nervous. So, our goal is to make it as least as possible. Even though it can be an aggressive thing, we want to make it feel like, hey, we're here to learn together. We're all trying to get better. And then the second part of that is very similar to the first. What I'm looking for is someone that is, air quotes, team player. That's like, a business kind of thing. Like, oh, let's be a team player. But really, we want a team player. We want someone that cheers on when other people are doing well. There's been times in my life, that I was very almost jealous of people doing better than me. And it's a really terrible way to think and live. It's a scarcity mentality, as if there's only one piece of pie, and for all of us, it's just not the way it is. The pie is very big, and because one person doing good does not mean that you cannot do good as well. And I just find it changes your whole way of thinking when you are positive and you want the best for others. And so that's what we want. We want people to come in and go, oh man, when you're losing and you see someone be promoted, but also you have these mat chats, I would say, where we're talking to each other and we're like, oh, my son made it into college and made it into wherever, and oh, congratulations, that's awesome. That's the type of people we want. We want people that are supportive of each other. I want you to come in, and I want a supportive atmosphere, and that's how we've kept the vibe of my gym. You would say the vibe, which is one of those words that people throw around, but the culture of my gym and our academy needs to be one of rah and help each other out, and not a fake one oh, good for you. No, I want you to be generally happy for other people to do well, and that's contagious because they're going to be happy for when you do well. And having that support is just, life is hard. You should have a support network. And so when I'm looking for people that are coming in the gym, I want people that are willing to, be that support network for others, and understand that we will be the support network for you too, that we are happy for you when you do well. We are happy when your family does well. And that is a two-way street. Now, the next part I would say with this is I want someone that is willing to work and do the work. You're willing to show up, and you're willing to put your time in and be disciplined. And sometimes, we're working on becoming disciplined, okay? And jiu-jitsu can help with that too, but, you're working towards that. Being the disciplined person means that, that if you start eating a little bit better, you're going to train and you won't be so tired, and you'll heal a little faster. If you start sleeping more, same thing, getting good rest, drinking less, trying to start taking care of yourself, and then discipline, setting the days these are the days that I go to practice. And, even for myself, I just took up piano lessons, and, I was struggling with practicing, finding the time to practice. I'm a busy guy, and I finally goes, well, look, to myself, I'm like, you set the days, and you tell people set the days that you practice for jiu-jitsu. And I did the same thing. Okay, at this time of day, I'm going to practice piano every day. And when you set the time, that's the discipline, and you don't have to be motivated. Just say, well, this is part of my routine, and these routines will set the discipline for you. So we really want people that are going to try to work on discipline, and that will transform your life. And we want to be a part of that transformation. And setting those time and working on your discipline and trying to strive better to be better is great. And if you're asking questions, would be also part of that same equation, is making sure you're asking people that are better than you. If someone taps you after the roll, not during the roll, because we want to continue, we don't want to stop, start. We want to keep wrestling. The roll's over, or after class, go, hey, how did you do that? Mike, what did you do? What was I doing wrong that allowed you to do that? And I've set up, this atmosphere that everyone is willing to help each other, okay? And so if you're asking questions, you will be learning, It doesn't matter if you're not as gifted athletically as someone else. Like, this is a knowledge-based thing. Kyle Tara says technique conquers all. The technique comes from the knowledge, and then your ability to drill it and be disciplined to drill and learn the techniques versus just trying to force everything, okay? And enforcing everything just can exhaust you, okay? And then the last thing I would say I'm looking for a student is someone that sticks with their commitments, okay? Sometimes I see we do free trials, and someone will sign up for a free trial, and then they'll cancel, reschedule. I'm like, okay, things happen, things coming up. But once they cancel or reschedule the second, even third time, I'm like, I'm not sure if this person can commit to our school. They can't follow through with their commitments. And that's an issue because, maybe they won't be able to follow through with paying. We agreed to a commitment that I will provide a service and you will provide payment at the agreed amount for agreed amount. And if sometimes those people seem like they want to change amounts, they want to change times to pay, and it just is like, this is kind of a wishy-washy type of person, and we don't really want kind of wishy-washy type of people is what I would call them, is they're really still focusing, they're still trying to learn how to be a person of commitment. And for me, one of my favorite verses in the Bible is, you let your yes be yes, your no be no. You don't need to make these grand promises, I promise to do that, I promise to do that. There's certain people I know, and for me personally, if I say yes, it is going to be really hard for me not to do the thing that I say I'm going to do. And if I say no, it is my no, and if I say maybe, for me, usually maybe means a no for most people. But for me, that means like I'm really going to try, but I cannot commit yet because I know I might have this other thing that might be conflicting. And I need to work out the other thing first, and then I can commit for you, okay? But my yes is my yes, and my no is my no. If I say that I'm going to pay you a certain amount, I'm going to pay you a certain amount. If I say I'm going to be there a certain day, I will be there a certain day. If I say I'm going to try to do something for you, I will try to do that thing for you. And so we want to look for people that their yeses are yes and their no is no. For me personally, it's one of my biggest pet peeves is when people don't follow through with the things that they say they're going to do. And I try to take people for their word. And again, I don't need grand promises. If you say you're going to do something, you should do it. And it just builds a trust level with people, If you say something and I just, I know that guy, he said he's going to do it. It's like, it's set in stone, okay? And so those are things that I would look for people is, people trying to change their lives, people that have discipline, people that are going to root for others and be a team player, and then people that follow through with their commitments. So those are the main things that at Strongheart we're looking for you. I don't need you to be overly athletic. I don't need you to have overly coordination. Again, I believe in technique, so I believe I can teach you and we can teach you how to be technical in jiu-jitsu and learn the art of jiu-jitsu, and then you could make it your own at that point. And being in shape, those things will come with training, but we don't need you to be some super athletic person. You could be could be overweight, but you're going to use jiu-jitsu to lose that weight, to be healthier, to be more disciplined, and we want to be a part of that. So those are the things that I'm looking for. I appreciate your time, and peace.
Let me talk for just a second, help me feel that sense of rhythm. Find the meanings in our bearings and discover this position as a stage along the way. Another rung to the ladder, either stalling or you're climbing, and I'd rather beat the ladder. Instead of getting fatter, let the footsteps resume naturally.